Good day, my friends. I don't often ask for people to like my messages or follow my feed, but in this case, I'm going to ask that if this message appeals to you due to the urgency of the situation, if it makes sense to you, pass it on, especially to our youth who have not yet grown into the urgency of what this political process means, because people are so discouraged by what they see happening that they just kind of move away from it, rather not be involved. But this is not a time to move away. This is a time to get involved. So the name of my essay today is called Being Politically Correct is a Recipe for Disaster. In order to maintain a sense of decorum, many people in positions to tell the truth will instead attempt to use political correctness for fear of intentionally causing others not to be offended. However, using that tactic alone seems to defeat the very purpose they hope to achieve. When people hold their tongues only to keep the peace at the expense of hoping others are not offended, that inhibits the very people they're trying not to offend. For example, when we see people committing wrongful acts that we know would cause harm to others, yet we say nothing or do nothing for fear of being ostracized for speaking out, that in itself seems to be a recipe for something to go horribly wrong. Now, God reveals the truth to his people. His faithful believers are the light that shines his presence into the world. We are his agents. We are his hands and feet that carries the Spirit of God throughout this darkened world. We should likewise be a sounding board speaking the truth to people. When things in life are not supported by God's truth, they will eventually fail. That's like building a house on sand near the water's edge with no foundation to anchor upon. When things in life are not anchored by God's truth, they will eventually fail. To God, there is only one truth. Partial truth, half truth, innuendo, gossip, those are not truth. That would be like asking someone to drink lethal poison that's only half poisonous. A little poison will kill you. How does one know the difference between truth and non-truth? God made creation based upon truth. He made the creation to operate on the substance of truth. Anything that is not true will eventually crumble. And the children of God know this because he simply tells us the truth. Now, ever as I deliver my messages to people, and if I'm unwilling to reveal things that God reveals to me, such as things that are ungodly, things that are laced with lies and deceitful practices, things that are immoral, or things that oppose the righteousness of God, then I do a disservice to others, especially those who are my brothers and sisters of the faith who might not see what I see. If God reveals his truth to me and I say nothing to the most vulnerable amongst us, then I serve as a blocking agent, withholding useful knowledge from those who might otherwise greatly benefit from knowing the truth. And we tend to assume that everyone sees things the same way, that they comprehend things in the same manner. That in itself is far from the truth. People have many innate distinctions and differences. There is no one size that fit all. If I know something that my brothers and sisters does not know and hold back what I know, is that helpful to them? Especially when sharing what I know could greatly harm or benefit them. If being politically correct were my only mission, then I'm of no benefit to anyone, not even myself. I'm only like a loud clanging cymbal making noise. I try to keep myself aware of things happening in our world today. I read or watch the legitimate news stations to educate myself. Part of being a writer requires me to do my due diligence in seeking out the facts and the truth. Legitimate agents will fact check information before they broadcast it to the public. They should. At minimum, they should at least let their audience know that they have not personally verified it as facts, implying they should accept their offering with caution. This keeps them from being sued for intentionally spreading false information. Obviously, not all media outlets run their operation based upon presenting only the facts and the truth. Some bring you news that increases their rating regardless of its validity. If their business model is based solely upon making a profit rather than protecting the welfare of their viewers, then it behooves the viewer to question if they are serving their best interests. The freedom of press allows people to take sides of issues, especially the news, any side, but it doesn't grant them permission to knowingly lie to the people to enhance their selfish gains. That would be considered slander for the sake of self gratification and self profit. We have laws and rules that govern such behavior, but do all people follow the laws and rules? No. Many news outlets will try to share both sides of the argument just to serve the best interests of the public. However, some agencies are willing to bend the rules using unquestionable or questionable practices that serve their stated mission, which is to make money for the station. When financial profit becomes the main mission, the public interest becomes secondary. Nevertheless, many will cleverly hide behind the law, granting themselves freedom of press, claiming they have a duty to present all points of view when really they're pushing their own. Do you think all people who work for Fox News are ignorant of the facts and the truth? This was verified when they were recently charged with the multi-million-dollar lawsuit and using, I believe, Tucker Carlson as their scapegoat, a sacrificial lamb. They fired him. Yet, they still continue to promote a felon and support his candidacy for commander-in-chief of these not yet United States of America, knowing that he has a reputation of lying and using deceitful practices. This is not innuendo, but proven truth. The candidate that they are promoting has been found guilty in a court of law of committing 34 counts so far of felony. He has been found guilty of sexual assault, of sexual misconduct, I should say. He has been accused of improperly handling our nation's most valuable secrets, which is against our laws. He has been already charged with cheating a state out of taxes due. In addition, he has been charged with instigating a revolution against the very same nation he hopes to president over. On what planet is that supposed to be acceptable? We were once thought as the greatest hope worldwide for trying to create a true democracy that works equally for the benefit of all people. We know by the facts of history that America has never been a land of equality for all the citizens. Slavery, with all its ugliness, flourished for hundreds of years here in America. That is undeniable truth. Taking the land of our indigenous people who lived here for thousands of years was not an attempt to become a true democracy. However, the idea written in our Constitution seems to be worth fighting to achieve. To this day, our nation is still struggling to shed off this wicked, ugly past. We are not, nor ever have been, a land of equality for all citizens. But there is much work to be done if we are to become a true democracy. Yet some people want to take our nation back to how it was many years ago and throw away all that we have gained toward equal justice for all. Although they are free to do so, how can such a stance benefit a nation? It only benefits those who placate such biased agenda of hate and bigotry. No good can come from promoting evil. Evil begets evil, just as right behavior begets right behavior. but we are the ones who decide, however fair or unfair that is. I propose a question to you. Is being politically correct a recipe for a greater America? On the other hand, is it possible that standing by the truth, regardless of where it takes us in the long run, might be a better choice? The truth can be ugly, as was slavery in America. Not only was that practice detrimental to the ones who were brought over here in slave ships, it was also detrimental to the many descendants of those born here in America. For hundreds of years, natural born citizens were deprived of their rights as stated in our constitutional law of the land. However, since black people were not officially considered full human beings, white, mostly male white leaders of the time made laws that allowed them to cross over the sacred line that God draws regarding rights of human beings. Now, those who kept human beings in bondage were evil people. They will be held accountable by Almighty God, and that is fact and truth. We have much work to do as citizens of these not yet United States of America. The MAGA movement wants to take us back to the past, claiming it was a time when America was great. Yes, it was great for white citizens only. We know of our ugly history. We are not ignorant of their agenda and what they're trying to achieve. Is that something we are willing to allow them to do? Or will we, the God-fearing people, the law-abiding citizens, the morally sound people, or the people who believe in basic laws of decency, are we willing to stand up and refute this ugliness? This is the day that we get to stand in the sunlight of history. What will the people decide on this November election? My gut tells me that there are more people who believe in fairness, equal justice, or some form of moral behavior, even if it's not associated with a divine God. What will America decide? We shall soon know. To all of you, get out and vote. To Almighty God be the glory. Selah.